Welcome to the quick snap review videos on the fundamentals of chemistry. These are very short videos, around about 10 minutes, maximum 15, just so that you get your head around the basics of chemistry in order to help you through the process of getting a passion for the subject and also being prepared for your exam. So this first session is all about understanding your way around the periodic table. Now, the thing that I say to my students is that in order to do well in chemistry, you need to make the periodic table your best friend. And in order to do that, you need to know your way around it. Now, when I say know your way around it, I don't mean that you need to learn every single element on the periodic table, but you just need to know where things are so you can navigate. So under pressure, you don't panic and you don't feel the pressure of not knowing where things are. So let's start with groups. Now, groups that go down the table. So first of all, you've got group 1, you've got group 2, then you've got followed by this block here, which is called the transition elements. Transition metals. And here you've got group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7, and then you have group 0. Okay, now, and then you have what we call period. Period is what goes across a periodic table. So here is period 1, this is period 2, and let's do another one. This would be period 3. Okay, so you know groups are going down the table, periods go across a table. The next thing I'm going to show you is that on the left-hand side of the periodic table, you always have your metals. On the right-hand side, you have your non-metals. Okay, and then you've got names of certain elements. So, you know, group 1 here is going to be called alkali metals. This one is called alkali earth metals. Earth metals, I'll just put that here. These are called halogens. These are called noble gases. Okay, so that's the basics of understanding where things are. So you'll always need to remember in your head that metals are on the left-hand side of the table and non-metals are on the right-hand side of the periodic table. Then you know that the periods go across, groups go down. You really need to know or be familiar with the first 20 at least of the elements on the periodic table. So if I show you this now, okay, as you can see that you've got group 1 and you've got group 0 on this side. So starting with hydrogen, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That will take you to calcium. Okay, so they're the most common elements that you will come across. In the transition elements, you will come across mainly like cobalt, copper, zinc, and then you've got platinum. But these are the main ones that you will come across on there. So let's look at an element. So we need to make sure we can identify and define what an element is. So let's take lithium, for example. So lithium, you'll see that there's a number on top and then there's a number at the bottom. Now, the key to each periodic table differs. So the one that I'm going to show you is the AQA version. Okay, so on the AQA version, it says on the key that the relative atomic mass is at the top and the atomic number is at the bottom. Okay, so this is the atomic mass and this is the atomic number. Okay, so on this start now, so we're going to go back into what is an atom. An atom is the simplest particle that exists that cannot be broken down any further. Now, you had like the scientist John Dalton stating what an atom was from his discovery of what an atom was. So he initially said that an atom is a sphere shape, and that led him to say that everything, all matter, is made up of an atom. An atom is the simplest particle that exists on its own. Let's just put that back in. On its own, that cannot be broken down any further. Now that we understand what an atom is, we're going to now define what an element is. Now, the periodic table is made up of all elements. Elements are natural and pure substances. So elements are made up of one type of atom only. Okay, that's the key thing that you need. So when they ask you in an exam question, what is an element? Elements are made up of one type of atom only. We already know what an atom is. An atom is the simplest particle that exists on its own without being broken down any further. So all elements on the periodic table are pure substances. So for example, lithium will only have lithium atoms. Copper will only have copper atoms. So that's the basic fundamental understanding of the periodic table. Now, if you get yourself a coloured periodic table, you'll find that most metals, which will tell you whether they're a solid, liquid or gas. Now, you'll know from group 0, we just said that this is all noble gases, so you'll know that this is all noble gases. Halogens are mainly gases, with 1 or 2 being a liquid. And then, so these are your metals. And then you've got a combination of mainly non-metals are gases, some are solid, with a few being a liquid there. Okay, so you could get yourself another periodic table and you can perhaps find yourself one use of each up to the first 20, so you get an idea of the different elements there. So that's your basic understanding of the periodic table and you're working your way around it.